All right, folks, having a little bit of technical difficulties this morning getting started. For whatever reason, my Adobe that I used to make the opening video decides it just wants to freeze my entire computer up today. Terry, I have no idea why that would be. Maybe I don't know. My computer just reset again last night, so I don't know what. I hate when it does things that I don't know what it's doing, and then I try to use it and it doesn't work right.
Yeah, and it also put me on your left side instead of your right side.
Well, I did that.
Oh, okay.
I can change that. It's the way it works. I am in control of all that. Just forgot. Okay. I guess. All right. Well, we're going to do Churchill Downs on this hump day with Hollywood Hay.
Yep.
Today, some free tracks today over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. Our free track today is one that I picked for our good friends in Turkey, Delaware. You can see right there. There is a link in the description down there below. First race at Delaware Park, Star Street. The one horse, 6-1. Now that's not a cheapie to put up on top there at all, Terry.
No, that's a nice price.
Mm-hmm. Some nice prices at Royal Ascot today. Our tips are over. Tom and I over at horseracingtoday.net. Some tips yesterday, winners yesterday, some winners again today. I mean, you can't expect to win every race with 20 horse fields, and but still got another trifecta today. A really nice exacta today too. I almost had a 37-1. Come home as the winner, finished second to the 1-1 favorite. So I was happy with that.
Yeah, and that number 4 horse you're showing there, Illinois, won that race.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you had a real line. I've been watching them, and you had a really nice exacta there with that 37-1. He just about got it.
Yeah, I put him on top. I mean, the one horse that won the race, you know, I mentioned that he was a even money favorite.
Mm-hmm.
And that he either wins or throws in stinkers. Well, it wasn't a stinker and he won. That's the way it goes, right? So,
yeah.
Anyhow, folks, fortunately, we're still in the penalty box for a phantom penalty with the folks at Facebook. So if you're joining us for the first time on YouTube or Twitter, kindly hit the like button, follow us. You can see all of our other social sites streaming down there below. Hey, Race Masters, best bet of the day at the Churchill is race number 1. Number 3, Sixwell. All right, well, he's kind of leading us to where we're going, Terry. That's race number 1 at Churchill Downs. Let's oblige and see what we got.
All right, let's do that. It's a mile and 16th, a maiden claiming race, $10,000 claiming price. Purse is $30,000 for maidens, 3-year-olds and upward.
And yes, at a mile and a 16th, the profile of a Churchill Downs winner at the Louisville track. Favors early speed, 1 out of 5 horses, goes to the lead, stays on the lead, and that's the ticket to the winner's circle. A little bit of a rail bonus for the Quay Brancho. 2 and 3 get a bit discounted. 4 through 7 a bonus. 8 and out, really not a good place to be. We do 10,000 simulations, Terry, starting in race number 1. We want to see, as we mentioned, speed being a key factor. Who has the best chance to be at the lead at the quarter-mile marker? And then based upon our projected pace, which horses are going to be in the comfort zone, the pace that will match their best performances. We also project out speed figures to see what percentage of the time the horse runs a speed figure of par or better for this level, according to the folks at Brisnet. And we've asked you 5,000 times to work with us, Brisnet. We have absolutely no benefit from using Brisnet anyway. Those horses, the 1 and the 6, good shot to run a better speed figure that's 77 or above. And finally, we create our own odds. We're hoping that the post-time odds are higher than our simulation odds, giving us a little bit of value. Terry, looks like almost all of them have a chance to get the lead when this race starts.
Yeah, most of them have speed except for that 2 horse, but the 3 has the most speed, followed up by the 1, and then the 5. And the 1 has an overlay from about 4 to 5 to 3 to 1, as 6 and 1 have the par plus number, I mean. And 5, 4, and 7 have C zones, and 5 is a really nice C zone.
Yes, and looking at, in addition to our simulations, we do pace handicapping. You can see here the 4 horse. That one's a pressure horse. Really none that's a truly dependent front runner in here. The 1, the 3, and the 6, Race Master's best bet, Sixwell Barrick. That one being a closer type. And then the 2, 5, and 7, not within 5 lengths of the leader at the finish line. Our early pace numbers tell us the 1 horse, Quebranco, probably going to be a pace setter in here, though. Although that 3-horse that Race Master likes should be right in the mix. You have late speed belonging to the 6-horse American Raider, a little bit better than the 6 Will Beric, and then the 1 right in there as well. Our top 3 total pace horses, Terry R, the 1, the 3, and the 6, way better than the rest of the field. So maybe the 1, the 3, and the 6, one of those could be your winner. Which one do you say it will be?
Well, I like the 6 American Raider. He ran second versus similar. His last race has the highest last race speed rating, and his best start speed is the fastest among today's starters. Then I like that number 3 horse, 6 Will Brinch. He finished third versus Tupper in his last race, drops a class today, has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. The 1 is my third choice, drops in class today and has a high percentage winning something I messed up there. And in the second, he has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 100% of the races in the second race after claiming a horse. And then Cole Boss, the 4 is my long shot, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then what we do, we have $100 budget, and we bet $2 a win on our first choice, $1 exacta box on our first 2, 50-cent trifecta box on our first 3 choices, and a 10-cent superfecta box on our first 4 choices. And then whatever's left from our $100 budget after doing that for all the 9 races, which is about $24 today, can be bet other places. We also do Miami Vice, Don Johnson pick 4s, and today it's in the 2nd and the 6th race.
Well, I'm going to go quick because the first race is about started. American Raider ran the top last race. Speed figure 4 points better than the next closest horse last time out. That's despite some in-race issues. Getting a little bit of a cutback in distance would be helpful today. 6 Will Beric. 6 Will Be Rich. There you go. I should make that horse on top as my name. Second up should be better than the first up. And this guy's going to compete for the lead in all likelihood today. Quebranco doesn't look like it on the PPs, but should be forward. And that one's going to drop in class today. And then right on target, the 2-horse, probably the most upside in the race, making just its second start. And then in that last race there at Royal Ascot, Dohar, I think, won that race. Does either one of us have Dohar? Call, Boom Boom Mama, Summer Love, no. And then race 6. I don't have Dohar either. Way off on that one. We'll see. I don't know. I'm not quite sure who won that one.
There was 25 horses in that race, so
yeah, like I said, just trying to find some winners on those days is always pretty good.
Yeah, I think it was the 18.
18. All right. Well, I had the 19. I was close, off by 1. All right. So race number 1 is starting at Churchill Downs. 3-horse, 6 Will Be Rich. The one we thought would be on the lead is indeed contending for that spot. You have the 1 on the rail, kind of tightly bunched pack of horses here. The 3, from the nose of the 3 to the tail of the 2, about 4 horses as they go through the turn. It looks like to me like the 5-horse might have a tough trip, Master of the Night, because they have to go 3 wide all the way through the turn. The 1-horse, Quebranco, on the rail, sitting in third, trying to save some ground, running pretty easily. To its outside is the 4, Cole Boss. And outside of that, again, 1, Sky Key, going to make a wide trip down the backstretch. In the back, you have the 6-horse, American Raider, the one we have on top, and then the 2 taking up the back of the field as they head in to the turn on their way home. Race Master's 3-horse continues to pull the cart as they go through the turn. The 5-horse stuck wide once again. The 1-horse got a good saving ground trip on the rail. Let's see if he can maximize that. 2-horse looks like he's not going to get involved. The 6-horse is going to have to weave its way through traffic to find its way to the winner's circle. Looks like that wide trip for the 5 is starting to wear it down a little bit. The 1-horse should get an opening on the rail here and maybe have a chance to challenge that 3-horse. The 5-horse continues to dig on. It's kind of making it a difficult trip for the 1. On the outside, the 6 is trying to rally. The 5-horse and the 1-horse are kind of, to be honest with you, making it difficult on each other. The 1-horse is not really encouraged to run through that rail there. But now the 3's opened up a little bit. Maybe that horse gets a little bit more courage. Although Race Master's best bet of the day, 3-1, 5-6, 3-1, 5, and 6 in the opener. 6 Will Be Rich. If I would have realized that's how the name was pronounced, I probably would have put it on top.
Hey, well, that's good handicap in Race Masters.
Churchill race number 2. Well, today's the day of threes. Must be that secret code that you have, Race Master. The third day of the week merits the 3 horses in your bets. Race number 2, Terry. Well, we already know who Race Masters thinks is going to win, but
Yeah.
let's find out what it's going to race for.
Well, it's a 6 furlong race, allowance race, $127,000 purse. It's for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upwards, which have. Wait a minute, I lost here. Am I
You got
lost?
it right. Never won a race other than maiden.
Yeah, my computer went cuckoo.
Claiming or starter, or which have never won 2 races. So at 6 furlongs, the kind of winner has early speed. 1 out of 4 wins wire to wire. The rail, sister kisses, is something you don't want to do and somewhere you don't want to be. 2 and 3 is a bonus. 4 through 7, a small discount. The best place to be by a long margin is post position 8 or out. Not an issue here, but certainly speed can be an issue. Looks like one of them, Race Master's horse, likes to be up front.
Yeah, well, we like that too. The 5, 3, and 1 show the most speed, especially that 5. But well, the 5 and 3 are pretty close. And then the 5 has an overlay from about 8 to 5 to 5 to 2. None of them show any par plus numbers. And 3 has the best C zone, although all but the 5 has some kind of C zone.
Yeah, indeed, the 3 horse pretty solid in here. Nobody with that par plus. Do we get any advantages in race shape? Well, again, we find nobody wants to get forward, so get to the lead like the 3 did. That could be your ticket to the winner's circle because these want to pressure, these want to close. Who's going to get to the lead? La La Rose, along with Silver Rose. Well, it looks like it's a race of roses. We got these 4 right in here, all kind of tightly bunched up with that early pace. So maybe a half a length difference between being 4th or being 1st. The horse on the rail could have the edge there. Since it's to the inside, but certainly doesn't have an edge at the end. Race Master's 3 horse Silver Rose, along with La La Rose, those 2 could be right up on the pace, could have the most late speed. It looks like the 3 and 5 might run 1-2 all the way around the track, Terry. A little drop off to the 6 horse there. We both think the 3 horse gets to the front and win. We are in agreement with Race Masters, much to his detriment.
We sure are. She finished in the money in all 4 of her career race, winning one of those starts, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. The 5 La La Rose, my second choice, won her last race at Parks Racing. At Churchill Downs, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then Marmalade Sky, the 6, my third choice. She finished in the money in 6 out of the last 7 races, winning one of the starts, has a high percentage winning trainer. Number 4, Mustang Lady, ran second versus similar in her last race, and her best start speed is fastest among today's starters. Okay, my Miami Vice pick 4, Don Johnson pick 4 is a 3, 4, 5, 6 with the 3, 4, 10, 13, with the 1, 6, with the 1, 8, 11. That's a $48 ticket.
I'm going to go with a 3 horse 2. That one looks like it could be up on the front the entire way around the track. Just reruns her last race and the second up. She reruns the last race, she wins, but I'm a little bit concerned that the second start after layoff could show a little bit of regression in here. The 4 horse Mustang Lady could be a decent price, a little bit of overlay according to our odds. Will be closing, missed in the lone Churchill Downs race by just 3/4 of a length. So maybe an unknown horse for the course. La La Rose, the 5 horse, is the third call for me. Plenty of headroom in just the 3rd career start. Does have a decent maintenance workout to keep the saw sharp between races. And then Marmalade Sky, very consistent performer, has a chance to be forward today. I'm going to go with the 3, 4, 5 over the 3, 4, 7, 10, 13, then the 1, 3, and then the 1, 6, and 8 to close it out. Some big disagreements in the back half of our cards there for our Miami Vice pick 4s. Race number 3, Terry, a bunch of scratches in this one. A lot of horses basically just getting started.
Yeah, it's a 5.5 furlong race, and it's a purse maiden with the purse of $92,000 for maidens, 2-year-olds.
Yes, and indeed, at 5.5 furlongs, you would think you got to be blistering fast, but that's not the case. Stalkers being the front half works. 1 out of 4 do go wire to wire. A little bit of a rail bonus for Skynet. 2 and 3 play fair. 4 through 7 fairish. 8 and out, not a best place to be. A lot of these horses, Terry, as you'll see here, making their first start or have not been within 5 lengths of the leader. So, yeah, kind of iffy in terms of our simulations. But what we have so far, Terry, who looks like they're the quickest of the bunch?
Well, they all show some kind of speed, or most of them do, but the 5 shows the most speed out of the ones that have some kind of speed number. The 10 has the only overlay I see, 4 to 5 to 5 to 2. The 10 and the 13 have par plus numbers, but they're a little bit low. And the 5 and the 2 also have C zones. So, and they're not real high.
Yeah, a lot of these horses just 1 or 2 starts into their career,
Yeah.
even making their debut. So kind of hard to say what any of this all means. The 4 and a 10 of the only 2 that have been within 5 lengths of the leader at the finish line. 7 and 8 going to crack it for the first time, although I don't think the 8 is in the race. So just the 7 making its debut in here. So let's go ahead, Terry, and just go to our thoughts on who's going to win and why.
Okay. Well, in this race, I like the 10 horse, my first choice. And he finished 3rd versus similar in his last race. He's a closer, so the extra half furlong may be a plus. And his best start speed is fastest among today's starters. He actually tied with another. The 4 Purse Thief is my second choice. Finished 3rd versus similar in his only start at Churchill Downs. He has a high percentage winner who wins 17% of the sprint races he has a horse in. The 13 Brenton's Baytown. My third choice, he has the highest last speed rating. He's tied with the 10 and drops in class today, and his best start speed is fastest among today's starters. And then number 3, Concrete Cruisers, my long shot, finished 5th after steadying really hard and has a high percentage winning jockey. No additional bets for me here.
Well, the 13, whenever you get those alternative entries that get into the race, you have to give them great consideration. This one's making its second career start. Any improvement off the first career start makes him the winner. Number 7, No More Stones. This horse gets 3 points on the 3-point scale from my first timer. Got good workouts. Mama makes winners. 5 out of 7 of Mama's babies found the winner's circle. And trainer Doug O'Neill hits at 13% with first-time starters. So all good numbers across the board there. The 10 horse, Akin Musiri, maybe. Akin Musire. Anyway, drops from a decent run in a $250,000 non-graded stakes race. I got a feeling 10 might be a little overbet coming out of that race. Doesn't mean it doesn't win. I just don't think that. I think it's going to maybe attract more money than it should. And then the 3 and 4 horse was a tough call for me between those two. They ran in the same race last time out. The 4 actually beat the 3 in that race. But I think you're going to see a better race out of the 3 horse. I think he had the tougher of it in that spot. Pair and maintenance workout sense. So I think it's going to be more fit today and absolutely better in the second start today in its career. I'm going to do a trifecta, 7-13, hoping for that first-time starter to shock everybody at a big price. Over to 7, 10, 13. Over to 3, 4, 7, 10, and 13 is a part of my extra $24 today to spend. Race number. Okay, so you're going to go with 3s all day. You're that guy in the handicapping contest, Race Master. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Hey, I've lost to a lot of those 3, 3, 3, 3, 3s in those handicapping contests, unfortunately. Let's move on to race number 4. Let me guess, Race Master, you like Bold Appeal, which is a horse we have in our picks anyway. All right. So what's cooking in race number 4, Terry?
It's a 5.5 furlong race, maiden claiming race, $30,000 claiming price, first $50,000 for maidens, fillies, and mares, 3-year-olds and upward.
And Race Master can't be the only one with some horses that he thinks is going to win today. So you have to have some ideas too. So share your winning picks with us in the comment section today, or say hi. Let us know where you're watching from. We certainly like to know where in the world you are. And at the same time, if you have any questions for Terry and I, you have any comments, suggestions, let us know, man. And I'll encourage you, because I'm 95% done with working out something I'm going to do over at my Twitter site, HRT Rich, where I'm going to put out 1 pick a day. And then we'll tell you a little bit more about the details of that 1 pick a day and what we're going to do with it and what it has in common with Ben Franklin. All right, we just talked about that last race at 5.5 furlongs, Terry, being stalkers. with 1 out of 4 winning wire to wire. A little bit of a rail bonus for the End of the Innocence. I think it's Don Henley, right? 2 and 3 play fair. 4 through 7 fairish. 8 and out, a little bit of a discount. Terry, again, tactical speed is useful, but sure looks like all right. Race Masters 3 once again.
Yeah, that's right. That 3 shows lots of speed there. The 1 has a small overlay from just over 2.5 to 1 to 3 to 1, and the 5 has an overlay from almost 2 to 1 to 6 to 1. The 6 and the 5 show the only par plus numbers, and all but the 7 have C zones, and most of them are pretty good.
Yeah, I'm worried about that 5 not being in my picks. It's the next one up, so for me on my list, but didn't make it onto the show. And race number 4, oh, yeah, right. Should have probably put the 5 in there like yesterday with that Peach Perfect or whatever, that Peach Q. Well, your 5 horse, that one could be a lone E. If it can get to the lead, they can be very confident out there. But it does look like 2 horses to its inside, or at least as quick, maybe a bit quicker, with Bold Appeal. That one having a lot of early giddy up and go, about a length and a quarter quicker than the rest. So should be able to clear the 1. 2 doesn't really look like it's going to keep it to task. At the end of the race, Patty Van Twinkle, almost 2 lengths better than everybody else, probably about 2 lengths off the lead at the start. So that means that one could just nudge up to these front runners as they hit the finish line. So you look at the top total pace, you do have Patty Van Winkle, and the 5, which was next on my list, clearly better than the rest of the field. So maybe forget everything we're going to say and just focus on that 5, Terry.
Hand might be the way to go, but anyway, I like Patty Van Twinkle as my first choice. The 6 ran second versus him in her last race, and she has the highest last race speed rating. Her best start speed is fast among today's starters. End of Innocence, the 1. Second choice drops in class today. Rail Post winning at a 22% clip. She has a trainer who wins 20% of the sprint races he has a horse running in. 3, Bold Appeal is my third choice. She switches to a high percentage winning jockey and can improve the shorter distance. 2 is the Sweet Lilybit. She finished third on an all-weather track in her last race, and she has a trainer who wins 22% of the races when taking a horse from a maiden to a maiden claiming race. And no additional bets for me here.
I'm going to go with the End of the Innocence. If the lone Churchill Downs Fast Trip is the benchmark for the rail horse, that makes End of Innocence your winner. Bold Appeal is one of 2 pure maiden special weight droppers in this field, and very likely the one that everybody's going to have to pass at some point. If they don't, wire to wire for Bold Appeal. Patty Van Twinkle, very likely your favorite, was off for more than a year, came back to run a peak speed figure by a long, long way. So let's just go back over here and just kind of show you what I'm talking a little bit about. See Patty Van Winkle here. Last race when it took off, ran a 72 or 75, so a big 12-point jump in there. Off more than 5 months. Anytime a horse has been off for more than 5 months, it comes back out and runs a peak figure way above anything they've done before. Studies show 60% of, not 60% of the time, about 90% of the time, those horses regress, sometimes badly in the second start. If it does, look for the bounce back next time out. And then the 2 horse Despo's Dream, which in this case is Race Masters. He jumped off the 3 to go with the 2. All right. I'll go with you here. The other pure maiden special weight dropper in the field with a pair of bullet workouts since her last race. My only concern is that she doesn't leave it on the practice track. And, like me, I am Tiger Woods on the golf range, folks, but get me out on the golf course and it's a whole nother story at times. Race number 5, you're jumping ahead of us a little bit of Race Masters. He likes the 8, Perfect Flight, and the number 3 again. So just play 3s all day, and you'll play along with Race Masters pretty cleanly. Race number 5, Terry, the middle race in the card. What are our conditions here?
It's a mile and 16th. It's a claiming race, $62,500 claiming price, $78,000 purse. It's for 4-year-olds and upward.
Yes, indeed. So at a mile and a 16th, which we saw in the opening leg. I think that was the opening leg was a mile and a 16th. Anyway, early speed. 20% gate to wire types, a little bit of a rail bonus for Phantom Ride. 2 and 3, a little bit of a discount. 4 through 7, a little bit of a bonus. 8 and out, just not good. Bad is how I put it. Like Michael Jackson, bad. All right, folks. Terry, speed helps. Who's got it?
Okay, well, there's 3 of them that show some speed in there that are pretty close, 2, 3, and 8. So it's really anyone's guess who's going to get to that quarter pole first. The 2 shows an overlay from about 8 5 to 1. The 4 shows an overlay from 4 to 1 or 3 to 1 to 7 to 2, and the 8 shows an overlay from almost 5 to 1 to 8 to 1. And then 8, 2, 8, 6, and 1 show the par plus numbers, 2 being the highest. And then all of them show some kind of C zones, and most of them are pretty good.
Well, just if you're new, if you're watching on Twitter, kindly hit the retweet button. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that share button, copy that link, and share it with your friends across all your social sites. Make sure you do follow us on Facebook. That's kind of the mothership. That's where our good friend Swiss Army Sean posts a lot of great content. You can find it, probably our biggest horse racing communities there on Facebook. So go check us out there. Hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Tell your friends about us. Help us get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of 2024. We got some new shows in mind, some new content that's coming. And any of your degenerate friends that like sports betting, like horse racing, they're going to like what we bring to the table the rest of this year. I'm going to go with the pace sheet next. Terry, pretty balanced race here. 2 want to be on the front, 2 in the middle. You got a little bit of versatility with the 1 and the 6 as the PC type. So if they go too fast early, those 2 can be patient. If they go too slow, they can put a little bit of extra octane in the opening parts of the race. 5 and 8, they want to bring the race home at the end. Looks like Background, the 2 horse, is your quickest horse, a length faster than Black Powder. So the 2 horse on the inside should have the lead. As they come home down the stretch, Phantom Ride, along with Inexorable, those 2 will be coming the quickest, although there's a lot of them here with similar late speed. So where you are on the track will determine how much of that you get to use. Black Powder, the 3 horse, there you go, Race Masters. Put that one on the top of your ticket today. A little bit better than Perfect Flight, a little bit better than Phantom Ride as they kind of notch down. Does look like the 5 and the 7 are out of the league against this crew. So maybe you can cut those 2 out and just focus on the other ones. Terry, who did you focus on?
I like number 1, Phantom Ride. He has won 3 out of the last 5 starts, finished in second, only beaten the nose in his last start, and he has the highest last race speed rating and has a bullet workout on June 9th. And then I like number 6 as my second choice. He finished in the money in 8 out of the last 10 races, winning 3 of those starts. Drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Perfect Flight, the 8's my third choice. He has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 22% of the claiming races he has an entry in. His best dirt speed is fastest among today's starter, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. And that trainer jockey combination the last 14 days, they've been in the money 4 out of 6 starts with 3 wins and a second. Then my long shot is Master Game, the 7. He finished third in his last race as a favorite, but the trainer that he has wins 17% of the time when he brings the beaten favorite back to race again, and he has the highest speed figure at today's distance. No additional bets in here for me.
I like the 8 horse Perfect Flight. You know, there are horses for courses, and there's horses for the course distance. That's Perfect Flight. Proper distance today, 5 races, a trio of wins in 1/3. Any other distance, and this horse has just 1 win in 17 efforts. The other problem with that is the post is not my favorite either. 8 out, as I mentioned, bad. So it's going to have to overcome that. Inexorable, the 6 horse, is a class dropper. Trio of decent workouts since its last race. Gets a 5-pound break for this closer. So it should add to its juice at the end of the game. And at Churchill down some success. 6 races, a couple of wins, a second and a third. Phantom Ride, El Numero Uno. This one's got claimed, gonna rise. That's what they do if they hold it out. If they bring it right back to the track. Tried Churchill for the first time in its career last out. It was its best career speed figure. So maybe the horse is a horse for the course. We don't know, though, because that bullet workout that you mentioned, Terry, was up here in Illinois at Hawthorne.
Yeah.
We would have liked to see it at Churchill. Then I would have known, hey, the horse really likes the course. And then finally, number 2, Background. That is our simulation favorite. Going to be on the pace today. 1 length early edge. Has that very strong C zone. It is a green go horse in here. Top C zone, top early pace. top par plus, and our simulation favorite. Seen that combination hit the winner's circle too many times to ignore. I'm going to do a trifecta, 6-8, 1-6-8 over to 1-2-5, 6 and 8 as part of my extra bucks. Race number 6 is Race Masters is racing ahead on the comments. We'll rate. So we'll talk about his race 6 pick right now. Somebody else has got to have some picks out there too, I feel like. But Race Masters for 6 likes the 8. I don't know what happened to the 3 horse, but we'll see if he's indeed right about that. In race number 6, Terry, get us started.
6 furlongs, $20,000 claiming race, $50,000 purse. It's for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upwards, which have never won 2 races.
And at 6 furlongs, you do want to be quick. It's very helpful. 25%, wire to wire, the rail, bad. So maybe almond fudge. Maybe that's why you didn't take the 3 horse this time. Race Masters. 2 and 3 gets a bit of a bonus. 4 through 7, a small discount. If you get the 8 or out, that's the best, and by a big, big margin, Terry. We're going to get horses that are on the outside there, and one of them on the outside is a Buffalo Girl with some speed.
Yeah, that's right. That 8 shows really a lot of speed, followed up by the 3. And then the 8 also has the only overlay I see. It's about 3-5 to 6-5. And then 8, 11, 7, and 9 show par plus numbers, with that 8 showing a really nice par plus number. And then all of the horses show some kind of C zones.
Race shape in race number 6. Trip handicapping, very balanced race in here. So everybody should get a position that they want. You do see the 8, though, maybe up front. Virasana, Almond Fudge, the 3 horse could be up on the lead. Do you realize? But I mean, even the 12 horse, Cuero Dinero, maybe some ability to get forward, but should be a pretty honest pace to get this race going. It could be a little bit on the fast side with everybody very similar. So if somebody pushes, everybody will push. That's the case. Lighted Up Louis will benefit the most with a late speed edge over the rest of the field. That 8 horse, the one you see up front, also a contender at the end of the race. It is your top total pace horse. That is 7 points clear of everybody else. That's usually enough to get the job done. Terry, you think it will?
I do. I like the 8 Virasana. She's drops in class today. Her best start speed is fast among today's starters. Has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Then the 4R Queen Candy is my second choice. Finished 4th in her last race after being bumped at the start and getting a really slow break. She has a high percentage winning jockey, and the trainer who wins 18% of the claiming races has got a horse in. And then the 11 Lighted Up Louis is my third choice. She won her last race at Churchill Downs, has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. Then the 9 Sherbert Fountain, my long shot, finished in the money in the last 2 races, winning one of the races, and she has a high percentage winning trainer. My last Miami Vice pick 4, I'm going to use the 8 with the 1-2, with the 1-2-3 10, with the 1-4-7 10. I think that's a $24 ticket.
16 32. I think it's actually a $16 ticket.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
So that's a real hot dog, pick 4.
Yeah.
I'm going to start with the 9 horse. This is my top pick. Sherbert Fountain did have some excuses in its last race. The resume says that the second start after a layoff could be a lot like the last one, which was probably good enough to win. But there's also some indications on the resume that the horse could really take a huge step forward. And I think going from 7 furlongs in its last race to 6 furlongs in this race is beneficial. Now, the 8 horse in here, Virasana, this one's going to be a heavy favorite, Terry, unquestionably, because on paper, you wonder, how does this horse lose? It's the first time the horse has been available for a claim. In its first 4 races, ran at much higher levels than this, taking a really big drop in class. And that's really suspicious to me because she ran kind of competitively in that race. So you're going to go from an allowance 127,000 for females only in the third start after a layoff, after running a speed figure that fits, and you're going to go all the way down to claiming 20,000 to put this horse out there that you pay 225 grand for in its 5th career start. And what's the purse on this one? This one is $50,000, of which you're going to get 30 grand. You know how much money they're going to lose on this horse if it gets claimed?
Yeah, a lot.
A lot. To me, that's highly, highly suspicious that something went wrong with that horse in that last race. I hope for those who singled it up that I'm wrong. The 11 horse, the alliteration horse, Light It Up Louis, ran the top last race speed figure, 7 points clear of everybody else in the maiden claiming win last time out, and does have room to be better in the second race off the bench, and does have a maintenance workout in there, a Stephen Covey workout, to get that horse sharper than it was before. And then finale, I'm going to go with that speed horse. I'm going to go with the 3 horse in here at Race Masters. I'm going to stick to the 3s because you know why? I have stick-to-itness. This one has a blowout win at Churchill Downs in the PPs. If she can find that form on the lead today, going to pop at a big price in the third start after a layoff. With that said, I'm going to do my pick 4, 3, 8, 9, and 11 over the 1, 7, over the 1, 2, 3, over the 2, 6, 7, 10. That one is $48, Terry. How long are we off to this next race coming up? 1 minute.
Just a minute.
Yes.
Just 1 minute.
So while you're at horse racing today for our Royal Ascot picks for tomorrow, we'll put them up later on tonight, Tom and I think we'll probably do a live show on Friday. I'm not quite sure what happened this week, but that's okay. You can find our picks. We can use the traffic over at horseracingtoday.net. While you're there, if you like what you see, kindly hit the HRT gear to support the show. You'll be taking over here. Get yourself, hey, you know what it is, Terry? It's barbecue season.
That's
Get
right.
yourself an apron for cooking. And guess what? Right now, today only, 25% off of everything. So,
wow.
Yeah. So make sure you head on over there, support the show, look great wherever you are in horse racing gear that you cannot get anywhere else, much like the data that we provide for you. That alone merits going out and at least getting a hat. All right. Race number 3, the 3 horse in here, Silver Rose, Terry. It is your 1 to 2 favorite. So clearly you and I are hoping for something else to find the winner's circle in our pick 4. Looking at the value in here, looks to me like the 5 horse, La La Rose, a little bit of a value in there, but they're off and running. So let's see how they go. Right now you have the 1 and the 3 battling for the lead. So Sister Kisses is going to keep that 3 horse to task as they go down the backstretch. That 5 horse is sitting in a nice stalking third position, moving nicely as they head into the turn. The 3 horse is taking the lead. He's kind of looking over his shoulder to see if he's got room to clear the 1. He doesn't. So the 1's going to make that trip difficult for the 3 horse. 5 horse still ranging up there in third. Not much of a difference in the running order. The 6 now in fourth. 2 trying to save a little bit of ground on the rail. And the 4 horse is way, way, way in the back. Around the turn they come after opening a quarter in 22 and 6, a little on the fast side. 45 and 9, a little bit on the fast side for the half. The 3 horse and the 1 horse continue to battle it out. Does look like this 2 horse could get involved in here and screw everything up. But the 3 horse is going to be your winner, Terry, at 1 or 3 to 5. So those odds came up a little bit. 3, 1, 2, 5. 3, 1, 2, and 5. So Race Masters should have stuck to your 3 horses. I know you had the 3 horse in that race, but make sure you stick to it all day long. You and I are off to race number 7 now, Terry. Is that right?
That's right.
All right. So for race number 7, Race Masters, there you go. Back to the 3 horse. Magic Grant at 20 to 1. Gotta love the confidence to ride the 3 for most of the day. For race number 7, Terry, what sort of conditions are they competing for?
7 furlongs, optional claiming race, $100,000 claiming price, purse $127,000 for 3-year-olds which have never won a race other than maiden, claiming, starter, or state bred, or which have never won 2 races, or a claiming price of $100,000.
So yeah, in case you want to know which horses are in for a price, if they were, you would see right here there would be a dollar amount. So let's see if anybody's in for a price today. Looks like everybody. Here you go. If you wanted to buy Mission Beach, you could reach into Terry's spending account, the general funds, pick up Mission Beach for $100,000. Looks like most of the others, the trainers and connections plan on keeping. Oddly, no matter where you go at 7 furlongs, Terry, it seems like that's the distance where speed is the least influential. Only 1 out of 10% winning on the front. So that's a little bit probably under par, a little bit under performance. A little bit of a bonus for Discreet Mischief in here. 2 and 3 a penalty, 4 through 7 fair, 8 and out, a touch better than the rail. So on the inside or on the outside with some giddy up and go, useful, but not necessary, Terry. Looks like the barbell is where you're going to find the speed in here.
It does, yeah. That's got the most speed, followed up by the inside rail horse with the 1. And then the 1 has an overlay from 4 to 5 to 6 to 5 or 7 to 5. 7 has a very small overlay from about, was that about 6 to 5 to 9 to 5?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
7, 5, something like that. 1 and 7 show really good par plus.
Who's frozen, folks?
Yeah.
One of us is freezing. You or me, Terry?
I'm not freezing, I don't think.
Tough to tell.
And you look fine to me. So anyway, all of them have really good C zones except for the 7's pretty low.
Yeah, well, the 7's only making his second career start, so kind of difficult to tell
hard
looking on there. Yeah, a lot of these horses, again, some of them very lightly raced in their career. 2 and 5, they want to be forward. Everybody else middle back, so it could favor some early speed under that condition. Doesn't look like the 2 or 5 are going to have the lead. It looks like the 7 and the 1 are going to get after it, the 2 Brad Cox horses. And then as far as your late speed is concerned, once again, you find the 2 Brad Cox horses. So I got a feeling one of the 2 Brad Cox horses has a really good chance to have the top total pace. In fact, they're almost 10 points clear of the next closest group. So maybe it's a Brad Cox exacta. Terry, it looks like the 1 horse is slightly better on the total pace than the 7. And I'll tell you why I think somebody important thinks the 1's a little bit better than the. We both put the 7 on top. Maybe we should have put the 1 on top. But why did you make that decision?
Well, I like the 7 because he won his debut race at Churchill Downs, has a high percentage winning trainer, and a good workout on June 10th. The 1 Discreet Mischief is my second choice. Finished second in his last race as a favorite, but has a trainer wins 31% of those races when bringing a beaten favorite back, and has a high percentage winning jockey. And then number 2 is my third choice, Risk It. He has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey who in the last 14 days have won 3 out of 7 starts. The 6 Mission Bay or Beach is my long shot, drops in class today, and his best dirt speed is closest to the average winning speed. The 7 is my pick of the day. I'm going to bet 14 to win on it, and then the $10 exacta 7-1.
So Pure Force, any improvement from its debut makes it a runaway winner. Although Discreet Mischief, both Brad Cox horses, it's interesting that Florent Guru, who is Brad Cox's first call jockey, rode the 7 in his debut and has ridden the 1 in every race so far. Guess which horse Florent is on?
The 1?
The 1. That tells me the jockey's ridden both of them. I'm certain that he had a choice. Which one does he want? He took the 1 over the 7. Things that make you go, Risk It. The 2 horse may be the only horse in this field with a chance at upsetting either of Brad Cox's horses. Mission Beach ran competitively in some very big races, Terry. Been falling off a little bit, so trainer Kent Sweezy throwing a lot against the wall here. Snip, snip, first gelded, getting first Lasix. Maybe one of those 2 things or both brings this horse back to form today. I do think it's between the 7 and 1. I am concerned that both of us choosing against Florent Guru, who has the firsthand knowledge, might have been a mistake.
It could be. Could be, yes.
Race 8 with the last of the only turf race today and the beginning of the late daily double.
Yep, mile 16th on the turf, as you said, optional claiming race, $80,000 claiming price. First $134,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won, $18,000 twice, other than a maiden claiming starter or state bred, or which have never won 3 races, or a claiming price of $80,000.
And race number 8, Gray's Fable. No 3 for Race Masters in that one, but just 1 to the inside. So close enough to be a 2. A mile and a 16th, Terry, the sort of horse that wins on that turf course in Louisville. Stalkers and closers. Not a single horse has gone wire to wire yet. There's a little bit of a rail bonus. 2 and 3 play fair. 4 through 7, not good. The best place to be is to where the pink 8s or higher. Who's got the giddy up and go on the turf go?
Well, the 3 shows the most speed in here, with the 4 and 5 having a little bit of speed. The 2 has an overlay from 8, 5, 5 to 1. 3 has an overlay from about 7 to 2 to 6 to 1. 2, 3, 6, and 8 show par plus numbers, and all but the 7 show some kind of C zones.
So there you go. You should have went with the 3-horse again, Race Master, in here. Terry and I both kind of leaning that way. Our race shape for the second to last race of the day. Nobody really wants to be a front runner, Terry, so I don't think the pace will be all that hot here, even for the ones that get up in the front. The 2, 7, and 8 want to close. A whole bunch here with a lot of versatility. So a lot of different ways this race can go early, but it does look like Deer District will have its way early. Maybe if it can get away with a opening half in the range of 48 and a half seconds, if it runs anything close to 49, they may never catch that horse. As far as for the half mile, as far as late speed is concerned, Cathkin Peak, a little bit better than Scooby Quando, but again, really not a big difference between first and all the way down to here. 9 points from top to bottom. So you get bumped, you get wide, you get blocked. All sorts of things can be a difference maker there. Deer District is 7 points better on the total pace than everybody else. Maybe we do go wire to wire with the 3 today, Terry.
Yeah. Well, I like Deer District, the 3, as my top choice because he finished in the money in 9 out of the last 10 races. Very competitive, winning 2 of those starts, finished 3rd in his last race, has a good workout on June 7th. The 1 risk manager likes the turf, finishing in the money 45% of the races on the turf and won 32% of those. He likes the distance, as he's finished in the money 50% of the time at today's distance and won 38% of the races. Number 2, Gray's Fable. My 3rd choice. He finished 3rd in his last race. He has the highest speed figure at today's distance and a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. 10, Catkin Peak. Catkin, yeah, I guess. Captain, yeah. He comes in from California and drops in class today. He has a high percentage winning jockey and a bullet workout, 5 furlongs on June 11th. No additional bets for me here.
We got the same picks in the same order. What's going on there? Deer District, top total pace, 7 points clear of everybody else. First up record is concerning for me, though. It hasn't really fired off the bench. But the turf record is not as concerning. 5 times out, in the money 100% of the time. Only one of those will win, though, with a couple of seconds and a couple of thirds. The 1-horse risk manager, last win that this horse had was coming off the bench, like today. That race was on the grass at Churchill Downs. This race is on the grass at Churchill Downs. Number 2, Gray's Fable, 3rd start after a layoff. Our simulation favorite as well in here. The last time the horse had a 3-race cycle, the 3rd race in that triplet of races was leaps and bounds better than the first 2. And then finally, Kathleen Peak. This is a West Coast horse looking for a new home with Golden Gate out by Terry, closing its doors, dropping from a grade 3, has the class, just don't know how it's going to perform at Churchill Downs. Could win this race, I think. It definitely has the class to do that. Last race of the day is race number 9, Terry, and they're going to run to see who can get their first win.
Yeah, that's right. 7 furlongs. It's a maiden claiming race, $20,000 claiming price, $42,000 purse. It's for maidens, fillies, and mares, 3-year-olds and upward.
And that 7 furlongs, like we discussed, it's not really the best place to have speed. Only 1 out of 10 runs its way around on the lead into the winner's circle to say cheese for a winning photo. You do have a small rail bonus for Georgia on Ease Mine. 2 and 3 get penalized. 4 through 7 fair. 8 and out, a little bit better than the rail. So the best place to be, Terry. Also helps to have a little bit of tactical speed, but not necessarily be on the lead. And it looks like for except the 8, everybody else has some tactical speed.
Yeah, several of them do, but the 8 shows the most. The 4 has an overlay from 6 to 1 to 12 to 1. The 7 has an overlay from about 7 to 5 to 5 to 1. None of them show any par plus numbers, and all but the 6 have some kind of C zones.
And then as far as the last time, we're going to look at the trip handicapping today. The 10 horse up on the edge. Good shot if it's a lone E to get to the lead. The 1, 3, and 4 will certainly make sure the 10 doesn't get away too easily in there. As far as the 2 horses, the closer, the 6, 7, and 8, that trio has not been within 5 lengths of the leader at the finish line, at least so far. Looking at the early pace, the 10 might not get there because it has plenty of speed. All of it's to its inside. So up on the edge is going to have to work if it wants to get to the lead, maybe work a little bit too hard. On the outside at the end, Georgia on Ease Mind, along with Computadora, a little bit quicker than Chiquita Reina and Kate's Concerto, but still, a lot of these horses in here at very similar late legs. So just on the pace standpoint, looks like a very competitive closing race. It always is the tough one to close out those pick 4s, pick 5s, and pick 6s. The 1 horse is a little bit better than the 7, a little bit better than the 3, a little bit better than the 4, and so on, all the way down. Terry, a wide open race. The all button might have been the best way to go. How did you go?
Yeah, I went with the 10 up on the edge. She has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 25% of the races when taking a horse from a maiden to a maiden claiming race, and her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. And then number 7 is my second choice. She finished 3rd versus Tougher in her last race and drops in class today. The 1, Georgia on Ease Mind, is my 3rd choice. She finished 4th in her last race after experiencing trouble as the favorite, but has a trainer who wins 26% of the races when bringing a beaten favorite back again, drops it in class. And then the 4 is my long shot, finished 2nd in her last 2 races. That's it.
I'm going to go with the 6 horse Queen Anna T is my first choice. In a race that anything can happen, we saw that in our total pace scenario. This horse has the most upside potential, making only its 2nd career start. And the last one, the debut, was a pretty good one over at Keeneland. It was a maiden special weight, 70 grand. So it's dropping in class from a tier 1 track. Should be ready to perform. But Jose Ortiz manning the reins today. Computadora, the 7 horse. And here cuts in a little bit in distance, dropping in class. And last time out, ran some pretty solid fractions. So I think that cutting back in distance being the key. Our good friend Charles likes that angle. Number 10, up on the edge. It is a maiden special weight dropper. 3rd race after layoff. That very classic handicapping angle. Last race, though, Terry, was absolutely god-awful, horrible. But the distance does offer a little bit of hope. 2 races at the distance in 2 seconds. Maybe that maiden special weight drop will make up for that horrible outing. And then finally, Naughty Miss does have a Churchill Downs run on its resume. That would be good enough to win today at a big price. Has a solid workout between races, so we'll see a similar effort today. My last $6 trifecta, 6, 7, 6, 7, 10 over to 2, 5, 6, 7, and 10. Here are our full picks for today. So far, should stick to Race Masters guns. The 3 is the dominant number to start the day in Louisville, Kentucky. You can see the rest of our picks going forward from there. Of course, tomorrow, Terry and I will be back to do Belmont at Aqueduct, or really just Aqueduct, as that's where they're racing. Yep. I'm sure on Friday, Tom and I will do something for the final day at the Royal Ascot. Of course, next week, Terry and I will return for our normal schedule. And that's about it. Terry, any final thoughts from you before we wrap it up today?
Yeah, just be careful and tell how you feel to your loved ones and your friends, because you never know what's going to happen. Watch out for the heat. If you're in a place that's got a lot of heat, I guess that Midwest had a lot of heat. I know Chicago got up 95.
That feels good outside.
Yeah, but for some people, it's pretty hard.
Mm-hmm.
They're not used to that. But anyway, and just have a great day if you're playing the horses. Good luck to you and to you, Race Masters.
Yes, indeed. Again, tomorrow, don't forget to head on over to horseracingtoday.net to get Tom and I our picks for Royal Ascot day number 3. Got some winners the first couple of days. We've been knocking on the door with some bombs, so hopefully tomorrow one of them kicks that door down and comes home at a big price. And also, I post them over there tonight when I'm done with them, probably around 10, 11 o'clock p.m., midnight-ish Eastern on my Twitter feed at HRT Rich. Make sure you head on over there and follow me if you don't. Follow us on all of the social sites you see streaming down there below. Again, if you're going to play some picks today at Delaware Park over in Turkey or anywhere in the world, free link to free picks in our description down below here on YouTube. And then that's it. Make sure you follow us on all of our social sites. We appreciate that. Do unto others as you'd want done unto you, Mr. Terry. And may all your endeavors today have God's blessing, God's grace, and that every single thing that you do, and I hope this video works, ends up in the
winner's circle.
Indeed. Make it a fantastic hump day.